What is up, Insaners, and welcome to this week's second episode. And a massive announcement to make, guys. Game week 35 now is a triple game week. So, today we'll talk about the updated fixtures. We'll also cover some really good wildcard drafts and free hit drafts. And we'll also talk about the best captain picks with the triple game week in mind. Now, for those of you who are also planning the upcoming game weeks, we did a strategy video for game weeks 35 to 38 a couple of days back. In fact, we did that yesterday, and that should help you prepare the best team for the last 4 weeks. Guys, make sure you check that out. You'll find a link to the same at the end of this video. Plus, I've also mentioned it in this video's description. In case you like our work on FPL and find this video helpful, make sure you hit the like button. That'll really help us in getting more such videos and FPL content for you guys. As always, guys, if you're new around here, subscribe to our channel Insanely Football for regular FPL content. We do weekly FPL stuff, and make sure you check out our entire playlist. So let's start today's video by first talking about the updated fixtures that we have in the triple game week 35. Now guys, we covered the entire fixture list in our last video, and we won't be doing it here, but the biggest change from the earlier double fixture is that the Man United Liverpool game, which was called off last week, is happening now in game week 35. Now what does that mean? It means United will play a crazy 3 games in game week 35, and Liverpool now will also have a double game week in game week 35, playing United and Southampton. This also means that United blank in game week 36, which is really frustrating. Liverpool though still have a game against West Brom in game week 36, and that doesn't change. So just to recap, guys, 8 teams now double in game week 35. These are Arsenal, Aston Villa, Chelsea, Crystal Palace, Everton, Liverpool, Leicester and Southampton. Man United play 3 and they have a triple game week. Now when we look at game week 36, 4 teams blank in game week 36. These are Arsenal, Chelsea, Leicester and Manchester United. Now let's come to our next question, guys. Why should we free hit or wildcard in game week 35? Now we covered a bit about the free hit and wildcard strategy in our last video, but we will go a bit deeper today. Now a lot of people have asked me this question: should they use their free hit chip in game week 35? Absolutely yes, guys. It is a very appealing game week with a double game week for a lot of teams in play, but now there's also a triple game week, right, for Manchester United. So it's a really good option. It is pretty simple. If you have a lot of single game week players, for example players from Leeds, West Ham, Spurs and even Wolves for that matter, then play your chip this week and load up on maximum players who have a double game week and players from Man United who play thrice. If it's the other way around, where you have the majority of your players, let's say about 8 to 9 players who have a double game week in 35, then with a couple of transfers you can get to at least about 10 to 11 players without playing the chip, and then 36 in that case is a lot better for free hit. Now guys, wildcard works the same way. In case you have a lot of single game week players in your team for this week, then it's a bit tricky to play your wildcard this week. You'll have to be careful, guys, and not go overboard with the double game week players from the likes of Arsenal, Chelsea, Leicester and Manchester United, who all blank in game week 36. Now wildcard is definitely playing the long game and getting a good team till game week 38, so do focus on a balance, guys, and make sure you have 11 players who play in game week 36 as well. Overall, if you have both, then the free hit chip is a better chip to play this week. That also depends if you have a good set of double and triple game week players. If yes, then you can play it in game week 36. If you only have a free hit, guys, then look at your team and check for the pointers that I've already mentioned and then take that call. Great, now let's get into the free hit structure and then the draft. Okay, so for those of you who are using your free hit chip this week, it's important to have a structure and some key pointers in mind. These should form the basis of your free hit team, guys, and give you a good all-around squad for game week 35. The starting point of your draft should be to make a note of your overall team value and money remaining in your bank. Now these are 2 critical pointers, guys, that will help you get the best players you need. Every FPL manager might have a different team value, so not everyone might be able to afford the same players and picks, so do keep that in mind. Now 8 teams have a double this week and United have a triple, so make sure you have a good combination of 15 double game week players. It's highly unlikely that you will get players from your bench, especially when it's a double game week, but still make sure you field a strong 15 player team. A lot of managers won't be playing their free hit chip in game week 35 and their teams would have some popular players. Guys, if you are on your free hit, then you need to make a call whether to go for those popular players or do things a bit differently by moving away from the set FPL template. I feel if you are using your chip, it's worth taking a risk and you should go a bit differential. Another really important thing to keep in mind, guys, is how many premiums you want to play in game week 35 along with the combination of your differentials. You could easily get a mix of both, and selecting these players carefully would go a long way in getting you a good score in Game Week 35. One last thing to note is what formation do you want to play with? Now there are a variety of options available. You could play with two strikers up front with a 4-4-2 or a 3-5-2 formation. You could also play with all three strikers in a 3-4-3 or even a 4-3-3 formation. Now let's talk about our first draft, guys. This draft is a bit defensive as we've covered the most owned players that a lot of managers not using the free hit would definitely have in their teams. We have a total team value of around 104.6 million, and that remains a constant for all drafts. Our first pick, guys, is Martinez. We have him as our main keeper. Now clean sheet potential doesn't look that strong, but he can still give you some save points. The fixtures are okay. If you want, you can also go for the likes of Pickford or even Guaita from Palace. Both of them have decent fixtures in the double game week, but yeah, both defenses don't keep that many clean sheets. That is why Martinez for those save points. Foster is our second keeper for this week, the cheapest playing keeper who will surely be on the bench for Game Week 35. Next we come to our defense. In our base draft, we've gone for a double Liverpool defense. Both premium defenders. Liverpool have a good and a bad fixture. I feel the Man United game could be a close 0-0 sort of a game, so clean sheet potential is high there. This combination of Trent and Robertson will be a huge differential this week, so you should definitely go for it. Then we have Harry Maguire from Man United. Now if you look at the overall picture, Shaw has been a better defender in terms of creativity and FPL points, but United has a triple game week and I don't think so Shaw will start all three games. Maguire has not missed a single game for Man United in the league, and chances are that he might play all three, so a better option overall for FPL points. I think Leicester and Liverpool could be really close games, and having at least one United defender is a must here. The other two cheap options are Holding, who should remain on the bench for this one. Arsenal's double is an easy and a tough game. They generally don't keep a lot of clean sheets, and he's a decent benching for this week. The other defender is Mitchell. He's our fifth defender. This is more of a filler than anything else, guys. Not expecting him to feature for this team in any way. Coming to our midfield, we have two premiums, Salah and Bruno Fernandes. Both are decent captaincy options, guys, but I'm just tipping Bruno just because of Man United's triple game week this week. Bruno's numbers over the last 6 weeks are okay, nothing spectacular. Guys, one problem that I have for my team is that most of the FPL managers will captain Bruno this week, so that increases his effective ownership. Now, if you don't have Bruno, you might lose out on a lot of points. Then there are a few people that also might triple captain him, and you could lose further if he returns even in a single game out of the three. This is more of a defensive cover than anything else in this draft, guys. Greenwood has stood out over the last few weeks when it comes to the overall value, but among the two again, he might not start all three games. Having said that, we still have included him in this draft. The Greenwood option can also become Jota, who is similar to Greenwood in terms of starts, but the 3 games for Greenwood just gives him the edge among the two. Salah's probably another must-have this week, guys. He also has looked okay in attack. Could have had a lot of more points, especially in that Newcastle game where he missed so many chances. Now he's still the best attacker in that Liverpool front three. Obviously, if you want to differentiate yourself from the crowd, you can take a punt on Mane, but it's a huge risk, guys. I won't personally do it, but yet still an option. The other two midfielders, like our defense, are from Arsenal and Crystal Palace. We've gone for a couple of differential picks in Zaha and Saka from Arsenal. Now I'm still waiting for the final comments before the week in terms of Zaha's fitness, but I think he's still a solid pick this week. 2 decent games, and he is Palace's main man. Not many people without a free hit might have him, so this is definitely a good shout, guys. Our final midfielder is Saka. Again, he's probably a bench option this week. Arsenal have that Europa League game, and I'm not sure how much will he feature in the league games. Still a decent option to have on the bench. Trust me, guys, attack is a lot simpler here. Iheanacho and Calvert-Lewin look like must-haves if you are on a free hit this week. Both are decent value. Diesel has 2 good fixtures from an attacking point of view. Iheanacho's games are also kind of mixed. He faces a United defense who don't concede too many goals. Now we have a choice for the third striker. In this draft, we have gone for Jamie Vardy. That Vardy-Iheanacho combo could also be a good differential this week. Now there's also an alternate approach to the base draft that we can try, guys. Rather than doubling up on Leicester and going for Vardy, we can go for Watkins. Now this move reduces our dependency on 2 Leicester strikers. We have Watkins, who has been in better form than Vardy, at least from an FPL point of view. This also allows us to upgrade one of our defenders, guys, and we can upgrade Mitchell to Luca Digne from Everton. I feel this is more of a balanced move, and we can play 4 at the back as well. These moves still leave about 1.6 million in the bank, and that allows for a bit more tinkering, guys, if you are not completely sold on certain players. Now let's talk about our wildcard structure and the draft, guys, for Game Week 35. It's a tricky one for this week. You will have to keep a few things in mind. Wildcard squad is not like free hit, and that will stay with you till the end of the season, so decide how many premiums you want to go for. Do you want the 3 to 4 template which has been popular this season, or you want to reduce or increase that number based on your budget? Another decision that needs to be made is whether you want to invest in your bench. Now, do you want to have fillers and invest that money in your 11, or make a more balanced squad, sharing that money over the entire squad? Guys, another important call that you need to make is how many double or even triple in United's case, how many of these players can you have in Game Week 35? Now, this will also depend on how you're able to field an 11, a playing 11 in Game Week 36, because there's no point of doubling or filling your entire team with good double Game Week players for 35, but not to have any cover for 36. Now, we made this squad keeping in mind Game Week 36 and beyond as well, and that is the challenging part if you are using your wildcard this week, guys, as it limits your ability to get a full squad of double Game Week players. That's a pretty standard option in goal. We've gone for Melior as our main keeper. Now, Leeds only have one game in Game Week 35, but then their fixtures look quite good. He's quite cheap as compared to the likes of Mendy and Martinez. Do take a note of that. Plus, Leeds conceded a lot of chances, guys. That means he'll be facing a lot of shots on target, and that finally translates into save points. The other keeper is Foster, pretty straightforward, so nothing more to discuss there. Then we have gone for 3 premium defenders. At least 2 of them are in terms of price. Trent Alexander-Arnold, Luca Digne, and Luke Shaw will all be the ones that are playing in Game Week 35. I've not gone for Maguire here because I genuinely feel Shaw is a better long-term option, even if he starts 2 of the 3 games in their triple game week. Trent is a kind of a must-have, whether you are on a free hit or a wildcard. He has good fixtures till Game Week 38. Even the game against United could be a close 0-0 kind of a game. Now, Luca Digne is a pretty attacking choice too. He's quite nailed. Yes, he's expensive, but the attacking threat he possesses, guys, is worth the price. And if you're looking for an alternate option, then Seamus Coleman is also a good pick. The other players we've gone for are Holding from Arsenal. He's more of a reserve kind of a player and should come in case any of the 3 defenders don't play. Our final defender is Leeds Stroik. Now, there are a couple of Crystal Palace defenders in that same price if you want to go there. This is pretty flexible, to be honest, and based on your money remaining in the bank, you can choose those players. As the midfield is a bit similar to the free hit draft, we have retained Bruno Fernandes, Mo Salah, and Zaha from the free hit draft that we made earlier. Zaha, for the run of games that he has, is a very good option. The other 2 options are Jota and Ward-Prowse. The reason we've picked Jota over Greenwood is because he gives that extra player in Game Week 36. Yes, Greenwood plays an additional game in 35, but again, there's no guarantee that he'll start all 3, right? Ward-Prowse is also a selection because of the fixtures more than anything. Decent games plus a double in 35. And if you don't want to take that chance with him, you can go in a lot of other directions. Guys, you can go for Lingard if you have the money. You can also go for the likes of Rafinha if he's fit, or even Harrison as a punt. A punt on Foden is also an option if you want to take your chances and play the Pep Roulette. I feel the attack is also a bit tricky here, guys. 2 double Game Week 35 picks in Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Iheanacho are pretty standard. The third option is a bit trickier, guys. While you can go for the likes of Watkins or even Vardy, but Iheanacho already doesn't have a game in Game Week 36, and it's important to have a forward who has decent fixtures till the season end, even if it's not a double game week. Harry Kane is a top name on this list, guys. Overall, the season has been good for him. He's fighting for the Golden Boot and would be super motivated to finish the season well. If you don't want to get him, Antonio is another good option till Game Week 38. He looks to be back and had a fine game against Burnley last time. Fixtures look really good and there is good potential here, guys. Now, with the free hit and wildcard drafts done, let's look at how our teams did in Game Week 34 and then our team selection for Game Week 35. Guys, absolutely shambles of a week. Nothing much happened this week. A pretty bad one for mostly everyone in FPL. Man United versus Liverpool, that game got cancelled and that hurt us really bad. We only had 6 players. Imagine, we only had 6 players who played this week. So 36 points for 6 players. I think it's not that bad considering how other managers performed. But our game week rank was pathetic. But the drop wasn't too much as others also suffered. Still down about 4k ranks to about 28,000 in the world now. We played a back 4 with Amartey and Holding on the bench. Now, Mendy was the only player in our defense giving us a clean sheet and he gave us 7 points. Midfield was slightly better as Son returned with a double-digit haul, Super important points this week, guys, and I really hope that I would have captained him this week. Lingard was the only other player that played in midfield and he blanked against Burnley. Our attackers were Chris Wood and Iheanacho and both returned. Again, not huge returns, but again, it was still something. Harry Kane blanking against Sheffield in spite of Tottenham scoring 4 felt pretty bad, didn't it? Still don't know how that happened. How he managed to not contribute to even a single goal in that Spurs performance is just bizarre. Didn't expect that captaincy fail for sure, guys. I'm sure Game Week 35 is gonna be a lot better. Let's look at how we are doing right now in terms of a Game Week 35 squad. Now let's start from the back. We have Mendy in goal. I'm hoping he plays both games. Really hope he's not rested, guys. Tricky games against Man City and Arsenal, so not ideal for sure. And next week he blanks, so we will have to kind of manage that in some way. In terms of our defense, Trent and Shaw are really good options. Now because of having Rudiger who might get rested for a game, we would have to play holding. I'm quite sure his effective ownership is not going to be that high, so let's see if he can give us any advantage. Like a clean sheet could really help us here, right? Rudiger also plays. I don't see a point of taking him out, even if it is for someone like a Luca Digne. I feel Marty is the one that might go this week for Digne. Still not 100% sure about it, but this is what I have in mind right now. The midfield right now is a 3 with a double up on Salah and Jota, both having 2 games. The other option is Mason Greenwood, guys, who again might start all 3 games this week, not really sure about it. The biggest worry I have with this team is not having Bruno Fernandes. The problem this week is that his ownership is going to be massive, guys. I have a feeling that it might be more than 200%. So till the time you don't triple captain him, you will lose out if he scores any points. That's crazy to even think, right? I can get him in place of Son. I have the cash, but then I won't be able to afford Digne. I would probably have to go for someone like a Coleman, as I won't have the money for Digne. Now another move I really wanted to make this week was to get Calvert-Lewin, but then if I get Bruno, this becomes a bit difficult as well. It's a tricky one, guys, to be honest. There's more to lose here than gain with Bruno Fernandes. So let's see. Still a day to go and I'll have to think a little more. I feel attack is where we would struggle the most this week. 2 players with single game weeks. Now Tottenham Leeds could be a low scoring one. So let's see how Kane performs there. Iheanacho is okay and he stays. Wood is our third option, guys. I don't want to replace him as he has been in great form. But Watkins and DCL, guys, they both have a double. Plus the ownership is a lot higher. Now this again seems like a defensive move this week, but I think going differential just for the sake of it doesn't make any sense. Now let's talk about some captaincy options, guys. There are some decent options this week. No surprises with all United options. Bruno has to be the most popular player this week as a captain. High ownership plus decent potential to feature in all games this week. I still feel it's a stretch, but that is definitely not going to stop people from captaining him this week. As I mentioned earlier in this video, guys, Bruno's numbers over the last 6 game weeks, they have looked okay, nothing spectacular, but when you look at the price column, right, you would actually understand he's not been worth the investment. Now Greenwood has stood out over the last few weeks when it comes to value. He could be a great differential captain too if you don't want to take your chances with Bruno. Guys, Luke Shaw is another good option. He also might not start all 3 games, but his attacking potential, right, along with tight games against Leicester and Liverpool, they might just tempt a few owners to go there. Now, if you don't want to go for a United player, you can also get Liverpool assets, Mo Salah. Again, not the easiest game weeks for United in the mix, but I really don't think a lot of people are going to go here. So that means he's a differential this week. Another great punt, guys, could be Trent from Liverpool. Now, this is another move which hardly anyone is going to go for. Trent has good attacking potential, plus there is a chance to get a couple of clean sheets as well. Now, another option if you don't want to go for the Liverpool assets, you can look towards the attacking Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I'm sure he would want to finish the season on a high. Everton would also expect him to help them reach Europe at least next season. His form has been okay. Again, not that great. He scored against Villa and got those 8 points last week. Form before he got injured was also average with 2 returns in the last 6 games. Now all this would say that he's probably not the best option this week, but then there were quite a lot of tough fixtures in the mix. With the upcoming games, DCL has a chance to provide big guys a decent outside punt in my opinion. Now this is a section I love the most, guys. If you're feeling a little spicy, right, you can go for the likes of Iheanacho, Wilfried Zaha or even James Ward-Prowse. Now these moves are very risky, let me tell you, so please take them with a pinch of salt. All of them have a double game week at least, so that's a plus, but do keep this in mind. If you are a serious player with a definite objective to end the season, probably on a high, then these moves are not for you, they're definitely not for you, but if you want to have some fun, then yeah, maybe you can look at them. So that'll be all for this video, guys. I would still say wait for more news on the players in terms of any injuries or last minute issues before hitting that free hit or wildcard chip. or even the transfer button this game week. I hope I was able to help you guys with your free hit and wildcard chip planning, and even those who are not using these chips this week. Make sure to give this video a like, guys, if you found it useful. Subscribe to our channel Insanely Football for all the good FPL stuff. Now we will be back tomorrow just an hour before the deadline with our Game Week 35 deadline stream. It'll be great if you can join us there. All the best for this game week, guys. This really can make or break your remaining FPL season, so plan carefully, and I'll see you in Saners next time.